You're watching NSPN.TV, the Neighborhood Sports Network. Coverage is made possible by your local McDonald's owners and operators, offering competitive wages, paid time off, and tuition assistance. And by the Star Tribune, your home for the best prep coverage. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into Wayzata High School tonight as we get you set for a big-time matchup as the number 3 ranked Eden Prairie Eagles travel to take on the number 5 ranked Wayzata Trojans. Hogan Greenwood alongside Steve Bonsack. It is the Lake Conference here on NSPN, and we're glad to be with you tonight as it's a monumental game tonight in the Lake Conference. Wayzata sits tied the top of the league with Hawkins at 6-1. Eden Prairie, meanwhile, at 4-3 in conference play. And the Eagles are coming off of a 2-point loss in overtime on the road against Hopkins. And the Royals are 6-1 along with Wayzata. The only loss for the Trojans in conference play to this very Eden Prairie Eagles team back on January 14th on the road at Eden Prairie High School. Trojans are on a 6-game win streak, trying to keep that going. They're 6-1 at home, trying to protect their home floor, get some revenge against the Eagles. For Eden Prairie, they come in with an overall record of 17-4, and they are led by their senior guard, Tori Schlegel, 20.8 points per game for the senior, committed to South Dakota University of South Dakota. And her counterpart is Ray Ehrman, who's averaging just over 18 points per game in her senior season as well. Ehrman did not play in the first meeting between these two teams back on the 14th of January due to an illness. She, in fact, missed 2, maybe 3 games this year due to that illness. But Eden Prairie is glad to have her back tonight against this fierce Wayzata team. The Trojans come in with an overall record of 16-4. Their 4 losses, 2 of them have been to Maple Grove, another one out of conference, the Granite City Classic against Prairie Lake. They lost by 5. And then the other losses in conference play to Eden Prairie. The final score of that game back on the 14th was 81-73, an 8-point loss for the Trojans. The player to keep an eye on tonight for Wayzata is Sophie Hawkinson. The senior guard is having a terrific season this year. Had a career high 34 points against Edina a few games ago. She's averaging over 20 points per game on the year, but over 21 points per game in conference play through 7 games in the Lake. And her counterpart, dynamic duo in the post, is Katie Kelsenberg, averaging over 10 points per game in her senior season. She had a season-high, career-high 25 points against Buffalo earlier in the year. Head coaches for both teams for Eden Prairie, it's Ellen Weesey, who's coached for Eden Prairie for over 8 years now. Meanwhile, for Wayzata, it is Julie Stewart, her 4th year now with the Trojans, and she's done just a phenomenal job with this squad, bringing a defensive mindset, leaving an imprint on this program for Wayzata. 71.8 points per game for the Trojans on the year. Meanwhile, 74.4 for Eden Prairie on the year. This series has been a good one over the years. They have split the season series 1 game each 4 of the last 5 seasons. You have to go back to the 22-23 season in which Wayzata swept that series. Eden Prairie looking for the season series sweep tonight if they can come out victorious. And they haven't swept Wayzata in girls basketball in over 10 years. 2014-15 season was the last time EP swept this series between Wayzata and Eden Prairie. Should be a good one. We'll have starters for you, followed by opening tip coming up here on NSPN. It's the Lake Conference here from Wayzata High School. And so we're all set to go here from Wayzata High School. Glad to have you in. It's the place to be tonight in Minnesota high school basketball. Girls or boys, a big one in the Lake Conference. Number 3, Eden Prairie, looking for the series sweep this season. Wayzata looking to avenge their only loss in Lake Conference play. The number 5 ranked Wayzata Trojans will be in the home blue tonight. Eden Prairie in the road white. Starters have been announced. Let's get them to you now. For Eden Prairie, number 2, Cam Denon. Number 20, Ray Ehrman. Number 32, Ella Hardwick. Number 33, Tori Schlegel. And number 34, Vanessa Jordan. For Wayzata, it's Marin Day, Allie Burns, Sophie Hawkinson, Annika Kieser, and Katie Kelsenberg. Kelsenberg will jump it up with Ella Hardwick. And we are underway from Wayzata High School. Trojans control the opening tap. And an early duck in. Kelsenberg getting possession. And she scores off the window. And this Wayzata team, after a made basket, loves to bring the full court pressure. Eden Prairie handles it well to get it across the timeline. Here is Schlegel. Skip it over for Hardwick, and she rains in a 3. So a good start for Ella Hardwick, who averages 8.3 points per game on the year. Up top for Hawkinson, who's been on a tear this season. Hawkinson drives into the corner for Burns. Kieser left open. In and out on a triple, and the rebound to Vanessa Jordan. Eden Prairie running the floor. It's Tori Schlegel for 2. And Eden Prairie will bring full court pressure after a made basket as well. Whistle on a stoppage here as the shot clock did not run as Wayzata inbounded the basketball. So they'll adjust that to 30 seconds, 35-second shot clock here in high school basketball over the last couple of seasons. So Hawkinson will walk it up for the Trojans. 9 of the 20 games this year, she's had over 20 points. Kieser got a good look but missed it in tight. Second chance for Marin Day. Good look inside, and Kieser able to cash in this time. Wayzata glad to have Marin Day back in the lineup. She did not play in the first meeting between these two teams back on January 14th. Ray Ehrman missed the game as well for Eden Prairie. Here is Hardwick, defended by Kelsenberg on the perimeter. Slipping to the basket, Hardwick. Good two-man game from Jordan and Hardwick. She missed in tight, got her own. Into the corner, Schlegel tees up a 3. That's off the mark, and the defensive rebound controlled by Marin Day. Kelsenberg running the floor, and could not convert. Back comes Eden Prairie. Good shot fake. Skip it for Cam Denon. Denon on the drive. Contact, no call. Offensive rebound, and the putback for Schlegel. She's got it, and a chance at three-point play from the line. Tori Schlegel averaging 20.8 points per game this year. Schlegel had 29 points in the meeting between these two teams earlier. And she makes good on it on the line. 8-4, Eden Prairie lead on the road, opening minutes of the first half here from Wayzata High School. Hawkinson, nice look. Kelsenberg finishes it off. Ray Ehrman, great pass. Tori Schlegel again beating Wayzata down to the block. And Tori Schlegel's got 7 of the 10 points for the Eagles. Hawkinson off the back iron. And the rebound to Denon. Eagles looking to push the pace. Vanessa Jordan is denied inside by Marin Day. Eden Prairie Eagles will keep it underneath. So we talked about Hawkinson. She had 30 points in the win a couple games ago against Minnetonka. Last time out for Wayzata, they were on the road against the Woodbury Royals, beat them 75-30, playing some of their best basketball of the year. Hammer pass into the corner, and Cam Denon splashes home a three. Cam Denon, senior guard, averaging 6.8 points per game, but she had 15 in the meeting between these two teams earlier in the year. 7-point lead for Eden Prairie, opening half. Kelsenberg knocked away by Hardwick. Hawkinson left open, and she puts in a three. 9 of 20 games this year, over 20 points, 16 with 17 plus for Hawkinson, committed to North Dakota State. Ray Ehrman slips inside, and she lays it off the glass. Good active hands by Hardwick, and a turnover. Hawkinson able to knock it out of play.
Now in for the Trojans, number 10, Lindsay Harvey. She replaces number 11, Allie Byrne.
Lindsay Harvey into the game for the Trojans. She started with Marin Day out back on January 14th between Eden Prairie and Wayzata. Harvey brings a great defensive prowess to Wayzata off the bench, and we get a tie-up as Hawkinson gets to the floor. Arrow will keep it on this end. Here is Vanessa Jordan. Denon off a screen, back up top. Shot clock at 15. Ray Ehrman from the left wing. Ehrman knifing inside. That's denied by Marin Day. A couple good early defensive plays from Day. Harvey cut off. Back out for Hawkinson. Here is Annika Kieser. Hawkinson losing the defender and gets inside for two. 5 points for Hawkinson. It's back to a 4-point game. Vanessa Jordan, skip it. Cam Denon sets her feet and puts in a three. Couple threes for Cam Denon. She's a sharpshooter. And we mentioned she had 15 points. Wayzata's going to have to get on her as she's starting to sizzle a little bit. Kelsenberg high post. We're going to go one-on-one with Hardwick, and she lost the handle. Schlegel blocked by Harvey. Hawkinson eyes up. Early duck in. Kelsenberg missed it. And Hardwick looking to throw it up ahead. Backtracking there was Marin Day. And it's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Eagles. Good pace in this one early on. 18-11. Just about 6 minutes gone in this first half. Ehrman gets it into Jordan. Jordan spinning, nice, up and under, but they're going to call it for a travel. And that's the first turnover tonight for the Eden Prairie Eagles. Kelsenberg will go to the bench. Back in is Allie Burns, averaging 8.6 points per game for the Trojans. She'll post up on Hardwick. Allie Burns banks it in off the window. And Allie Burns can certainly play a lot better for Wayzata down the stretch of this regular season. Averaging over 8.5 points per game, but still has a lot of potential. Schlegel picked up her dribble. Off to Ray Ehrman. Jordan will peel it back. Shot clock under 10. Jordan spinning on Burns, up and under. They just called it for a travel on that move, but she puts it in this time. And that's her first points of the game. Backdoor look, Keyser missed it. And Wayzata's got a couple good looks down low, but they haven't been able to finish them off. Good environment here tonight from Wayzata. Wayzata student pep band in attendance as well, playing our national anthem, bringing the energy here tonight. Hardwick could not convert on Eden Prairie's offensive end. Now here's Hawkinson surveying. Burns on a handoff. Hawkinson over to Keyser. Burns got inside position, couldn't get her the basketball. Hawkinson getting a screen from Burns. Shot clock at 6. Hawkinson slashing in for 2. Wayzata doesn't get back until late, and Hawkinson deflected it off the backboard. Burns got pickpocketed from behind by Denon. Herman, extra pass. Denon, front rim, and no. Wayzata catching a break there. Denon already got 2 triples. Here is Harvey. Burns posting up his day, and the whistle is going to be on Tori Schlegel underneath. So Schlegel had 29 points in the meeting between these two teams last time. Sophie Hawkinson had 26. Keyser had 16. Katie Kelsenberg had 13. But Wayzata lost by 8. Their only conference loss of the year. Trying to keep pace with Hopkins, both atop the league at 6-1. Mallory Macbeth into the game, and she missed it off the inbound. Macbeth and Goodnature onto the floor for head coach Julie Stewart. Likes to play about 9, potentially 10 deep, depending on how the game goes. Not afraid to play her young underclassmen as well. Here's Schlegel. Puts in a 3. Quick trigger from Tori Schlegel, and she's already into double figures with 10. Kelsenberg got fouled and will head to the stripe. Just second year of varsity basketball for Katie Kelsenberg, who's a 2-sport athlete. Won multiple state championships with head coach Scott Jackson and the volleyball team here with the Trojans. And a much improved free throw shooter this season. Misses on the first. And Vanessa Jordan will come back onto the floor. Zawani Zimbe has since checked into the ballgame for the Eagles as well. Number 3 in white. Kelsenberg misses on a pair, and that's the announcer's jinx right there. Just past the midway point of this first half. 8-point lead for the Eden Prairie Eagles. Schlegel out of the corner. A high arcing 3 is down. And Tori Schlegel's already got a baker's dozen. Picking up where she left off against Wayzata back on January 14th. Hawkinson spinning, lost the handle. Loose ball on the floor, going to get a kick ball, and it's going to go to Eden Prairie. So they get a defensive stop and a turnover for Wayzata. Timeout on the floor. Eagles will have the basketball when we come back. 8:19 to go in this opening half. It's the Eagles by 11 here on the road at Wayzata High School. We'll step aside.
We are the Minnesota Star Tribune. We're not a paper, we're a fabric. One that can unite and sense, connect, frustrate, represent, and reflect all of us. It's the faces you may know. It's the voices you may not have heard. It's major, minor, urban, rural, left, right, and center field. Because all the states a stage, and everyone plays their part. The Minnesota Star Tribune, the heart and voice of the North.
Back here from Wayzata High School, Hogan Greenwood alongside Steve Bonsack. A monumental game in the Lake Conference tonight. Wayzata tied with Hopkins atop the league standings at 6-1. Their lone loss to Eden Prairie, and the Eagles sitting at 4-3 after a heartbreaking loss in overtime on the road against the Hopkins Royals last time out. And a good start for Eden Prairie on the road tonight. 26 points in the opening 9.5 minutes. Tori Schlegel's already got half of those points, where the Bakers doesn't. Wayzata's gone zone out of the timeout. Skip pass for Cam Denon, and she gets another three. That's 3 triples already and 9 points for Cam Denon. Kelsenberg. Out of the short corner, it's Mallory Macbeth, the freshman. Kelsenberg over Zimbe, and she left it short. Outlet pass for Ehrman off her backside. And a turnover. Hawkinson bouncing it for Kelsenberg, too strong off the glass. And Eden Prairie will bring it into the front court. Schlegel. Skip pass for Denon. Keep it moving. Back to Schlegel. Now it's Ehrman. Good ball movement here. Under 10 to go on the clock. And Schlegel lost the handle. Turnover for Eden Prairie. Hawkinson. Pass up ahead. Macbeth gets fouled, and she will head to the free throw line. Third turnover tonight for Eden Prairie. And Mallory Macbeth has been a revelation off the bench. She's averaging just under 6 points per game. The freshman, younger sister of Wyatt Macbeth. And you can already tell she's going to be a big-time player in years to come for the Trojans. Keyser back on the floor as Good Nature goes to the bench. And 2 perfect free throws from the line for Mallory Macbeth. Back to a 12-point game. Wayzata better buckle down here defensively. They've given up 29 points already through 11 minutes of the game. Schlegel on the drive. Skip pass. Denon into the corner. Ehrman tees it up. That's off the mark. Offensive rebound. Zimbe just couldn't corral it. And Wayzata will have the basketball back with 6:31 to go. Good look. Hawkinson got a 3. The assist going to Katie Kelsenberg, and Sophie Hawkinson's into double figures now with 10. Schlegel looking for the answer, and she's got it. Tori Schlegel, 16 first half points. Still 6 minutes to play in the half. Keyser had it knocked away, got it back. Hawkinson. Got another 3. Triples are falling here from Wayzata High School as Hawkinson's got a baker's dozen. Great step in front, Keyser. And she's got an uncontested layup. That's the Wayzata defense that head coach Julie Stewart is looking for, and a reach-in foul from Annika Keyser this time. Just the second team foul for Wayzata. Into the game for the first time tonight, number 22, Jazzy Hooks for the Eagles. Lindsay Harvey back on the floor as well. For the Trojans, Keyser will go to the bench. Schlegel getting a piece of the paint. Backdoor, Den in. Spins it off the glass, but could not get it to go. Here is Marin Day, the sophomore. High post for Kelsenberg. She turns, faces up, and she misses on the jumper. Tracked down in the corner by Jordan. Jordan nearly traveled, and they do get her for the walk. She threw it away anyway to Harvey. And now that's 5 turnovers for the Eagles after they started out the game protecting the basketball. Zimbe will go to the bench. Hardwick is back on the floor for Eden Prairie. Under 5 minutes to go in the first. 7-point lead for the number 3 ranked Eden Prairie Eagles in our top 5 matchup. The Lake Conference here on NSPN. Day out of the post. Hawkinson comes to get it. Spinning baseline. Got it to go off the glass. And one. And Sophie Hawkinson will have a chance at a 3-point play. Jazzy Hooks will pick up the personal. 4th team foul now for the Eagles. Hawkinson, one of the better strokes in the state, completes the 3-point play, and it's back to a 2-possession game. Hardwick taking Kelsenberg off the bounce. Shoveled it off for Jordan. Now here's Schlegel, fumbled the pass. 10 on the shot clock. Schlegel looking up. Going to work on Harvey, spinning. Missed it. Hawkinson clears. Outlet pass for Marin Day. Day, jump ball. Good hands by Vanessa Jordan. Arrow will keep it with the Trojans. Wayzata on a 12-3 run as Kieser comes back onto the floor. Trying to force it down low for Burns, and they're going to get a bailout foul. And it looks like it's going to go on Hardwick. That'll be her first. Now 5 team fouls for Eden Prairie. Marin Day will trigger in. Hawkinson over for Harvey. Day posting up, and she's called for steps. So I believe that's the 4th turnover now for the Trojans. And Ray Ehrman will return for Eden Prairie as Jazzy Hooks will take a seat. Head coach Ellen Weesey doesn't have a deep bench. Only plays about 7, maybe 8. Depending on how the game goes. And she's got a great start tonight out of Tori Schlegel. She's got 16 points, a game high. Here is Hardwick working on Burns, spinning. Could not get it to go. Offensive rebound and the follow for Schlegel. Hawkinson calls out the play as we approach 3 minutes to go in the half. Burns. Nice finish on Hardwick. Allie Burns has 4 points in this first half. Wayzata trying to stay in touch with Eden Prairie. And a reach-in foul on Harvey. And Julie Stewart not happy with the call. First on Harvey, 3rd team foul. Maybe a ticky-tack foul, a nickel dimer, if you will. Eden Prairie with the fresh shot clock, 20 seconds. Nice steal, Hawkinson behind the back. And Hawkinson will coast in for 2. And the Trojans have it down to 2. 34-32, timeout Eden Prairie. We'll step aside. 2:39 to go. First half coming to a close on the other side of the break.
Hey sports fans, tourney time is here. And your spot for all the MSHSL tournaments is the Neighborhood Sports Network. If you can't be there, NSPN.TV has you covered, starting with state skiing February 11th, 12th, and 13th, followed by state dance on the 14th and 15th. The list goes on, and we'll have them all. Boys and girls hockey and basketball, wrestling, gymnastics, swimming, and more. Catch it all on the official streaming partner for the Minnesota State High School League, NSPN.TV.
Back here from Wayzata High School, Hogan Greenwood alongside Steve Bonsack. Wayzata on a 16-5 run. Really buckled down defensively here over the last few minutes and given up 29 points through the first 11 minutes of play. But just 5 points in the last, call it about 6 minutes or so. And it's a 2-point ball game. Sophie Hawkinson trying to keep pace with Tori Schlegel. Hawkinson's up to a team high 18 points. 2:39 to play in this first half. It's been a good one. The game of the night in Minnesota. Number 3, Eden Prairie, looking for a big road win and a series sweep against Wayzata. They haven't done it in 10 years over the Trojans. Wayzata trying to avenge their only conference loss. Hardwick into the lane. And they're going to get it for 3 seconds. And Wayzata forces another turnover. 6 on the night for the Eagles. Burns on a handoff. Day will let it fly and rain in a 3. Wayzata takes the lead 35-34. Marin Day's got her first points of the night. Hardwick on the drive. Got it to go. And the foul. A chance at a 3-point play for Ella Hardwick.
Basket's good. It's Ella Hardwick. Falls on the Trojans, number 11, Allie Burns. Returning for the Eagles, number 3, Zibolani Zimbe.
Zibolani Zimbe back on the floor. Ella Hardwick on the line. And she cashes in from the stripe. Kelsenberg back on the floor. Good response from Eden Prairie there after giving up the lead. They go back in front by 2. Final minute and a half here of the first. Keyser gets a piece of the paint, back out for Hawkinson. Hawkinson will pull the trigger, a little too strong. Marin Day skying for the tap back. Keyser will keep it alive. It was tipped, so no backcourt violation. Hawkinson steps into a 3. And the Trojans go back in front. 21 first half points for Sophie Hawkinson. Continues her dominant year. 10 of the last 21 games with 20-plus points for Sophie Hawkinson. Final 40 seconds. Schlegel off the crossover. Cam Denon out of the corner. Could not answer. Hawkinson secures the board. Wayzata can hold for the final shot. Shot clock is off. Keyser will feed the post. Kelsenberg going right to the rim. Wayzata goes up by 3. Final 20 seconds. Knocked away by Marin Day and a steal. Day all alone for two. Ray Ehrman will force it up, and it's off the front of the rim. But what a way to close the first half for the Trojans. Down by as many as 13, they take a 5-point lead into the break. 21 first half points for Sophie Hawkinson. Threes were raining in that first half, and it's 42-37. Number 5 Wayzata over number 3 Eden Prairie in the game of the night here from Minnesota. We'll step aside. Halftime analysis coming up in a minute. You're watching the Lake Conference here on NSPN.
You're watching NSPN.TV, the Neighborhood Sports Network.
Up here, it's all about perspective. From the good life to the bad weather, the cities, the townships, the land, the water. It's the state we love to love. It's the state we hate to leave. Fly over? Do so at your own peril, because perspective matters. And if it's happening down there and over there or up there, read about it here and all across here. This isn't Minnesota nice. This is Minnesota news, and we are the Minnesota Star Tribune. We're not a paper, we're a fabric, one that can unite, incense, connect, frustrate, represent, and reflect all of us. It's the faces you may know. It's the voices you may not have heard. It's major, minor, it's urban, rural, it's left, right, and center field, because all the states a stage, and everyone plays their part. We are the Minnesota Star Tribune, the heart and voice of the North.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Here at the half from Wayzata High School, it's the Trojans leading by 5. Trying to avenge their only loss on the conference season. They lost 81-73 on the road against Eden Prairie back on the 14th of January. Sophie Hawkinson turning up the heat here in this first half. Continues her scintillating season. She's got 21 first half points. That's a game high. Trying to keep pace with Tori Schlegel, who was leading the game for a lot of that first half. She's got 18 first half points for the Eagles, but Sophie Hawkinson has now 10 of the 21 games of 20-plus points, make it 17 points on the year with 17-plus points, and she's done all of that in the first half tonight. Wayzata really buckled down defensively the latter stage of that first half. Gave up 29 points in the first 11 minutes of the first half, and then only giving up 8 to close the half, and they have a 5-point advantage at the break. Should be an exciting second half. A lot on the line. Eden Prairie sits at 4-3 in conference play. trying to pick off the Trojans here on the road. Wayzata trying to keep pace with Hopkins. Hopkins at 6-1 in conference play. I believe they have Edina tonight. And so if Wayzata can win this one, they would improve to 7-1 at home. They went 8-1 in the month of January with the lone loss to that Eden Prairie Eagles squad. And I hate to be ignorant when we're talking about the standings in Class 4A for girls high school basketball, with Wayzata sitting at number 5 and Eastview being in front of them at number 4. You're splitting hairs, picking nits, but this Wayzata team deserves a little bit more respect. I know they're number 5 in the state. They've beaten Hopkins. Two of their 4 losses have been to the number 1 team, Maple Grove, and they beat Eastview back in the first game of the season. Now, I know that was a long time ago, but Wayzata deserves a little bit more respect, especially with how good this Lake Conference is year in and year out, with number 2 Hopkins, number 5 Wayzata, number 8 STMA, number 3 Eden Prairie, number 7 Minnetonka. Those are all teams ranked inside the top 10. Wayzata, if they can win here tonight, they might just get that respect they deserve, being inside the top 4, maybe even the top 3 of the rankings. That is not for me to decide. It's for other people to decide, and we should have an exciting second half coming up after this break. But first, we'll have our MN feature of the week. Here is Justin Barrientos for more.
And welcome to a little bit of a special feature here on NSPN.TV. Usually we're out in the field, but today, through the magic of the internet, we're joined by Mountain Iron Buell's Jeff Buffetta, the head girls basketball coach there. And Coach, first, congratulations on win number 600. Tell me a little bit about the night and what you remember and what it was like to reach that milestone.
Well, it was a really good game. Of course, I don't really look at much limelight my way, so nobody actually knew what the game was for me. Only I knew. So it was all about the game, and we had a nice 3-point victory and a tough, hard-fought game, and it was just a relief to go home and relax and not worry about it too much.
But you did mention 27 years as a head coach, I believe 25 at Mountain Iron Buell. Tell me a little bit about the role that you guys have been on the past, I guess maybe it's about 10, 15 years. You've been a pretty frequent state participant.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I'm most proud of for our program is, a lot of small schools, you wait for your group of kids to come through and, you enjoy that group, but then it takes a while to get another group. We've stressed consistency. We've tried to run a K through 12 program here and try to keep kids interested. And, I think the best part of our program is the fact that we've been here 13 out of 14 years to state. And, we were only fortunate enough to win the last one time, but it's hard. It's hard to have that consistent success. And again, it's a testament to all the good coaches I've had coach with me and all the kids that have just put so much time in. So, I guess, and the number of 600 means I'm getting older, but it also means we've done a pretty good job here too.
You mentioned the state championship. That was in 2023. What was it like for that? I understand that was the first girls basketball state championship in school history.
It was exciting. It was a long time coming. I think it, allowed the whole program to relax a little bit because I think a lot of pressure had mounted on our kids to finally pull it off. And so, obviously we're excited for the kids that were able to make that happen.
So then last year you make the state championship and kind of a heartbreaking loss to Goodhue. Tell me a little bit about that as well.
We lost to a very good team. Goodhue is another one of those programs that's consistent and they're there every year. And Coach Weemy does a fantastic job running that program. And, we just came up a little bit short. But when you come up short to a great team and a fantastic program, you can live with it. Our girls did their best, and we were right there till the end of the game. And sometimes you come out on top, sometimes you don't.
All right, and then tell me about this year's team because it looks like you're right on track again for another good playoff run.
Well, this year's team is definitely different than last year's. Last year we had 6 seniors. Several of them are playing college basketball right now, and so this year we have no seniors and we're playing 8th graders, 9th graders, 10th graders. We're very young. If you watch us play, we have a lot of energy, but we make a lot of mistakes. So we're trying to live through those mistakes and learn from them. And hopefully the goal is always when you get to the section tournament to have a chance. And I think we'll have a chance to get back to state again this year. And, that's all you can ask. Hopefully the kids will, keep getting better every day because we have a lot of room for improvement and give ourselves a chance at the end.
And then what's next for you? I mean, how many years do you see yourself continuing coaching, and what brings you back year after year?
Oh, it's a good question. I don't know what's next. I mean, I'm taking it 1 year at a time. Somewhere along the line, I think the ultimate goal would be to assist somebody.
Back here from Wayzata High School, start of the second half. And Eden Prairie will start with the basketball. Wayzata leading by 5 after they closed that first half on a 26-8 run. Same starters for both teams here to start the second half. And how about Sophie Hawkinson? 21 first half points. She's been unbelievable. And a knockaway. Allie Burns will coast in for 2. And Wayzata's defense has just flipped the switch over the last, call it about 8 minutes or so. And they lead it by 7 now after trailing by as many as 13 in that first half. And another turnover. Eden Prairie giving it back to the Trojans. And I do want to give a quick shout out to Sophie Hawkinson's grandparents, Paul and Deb, watching from afar. Sophie Hawkinson's playing for you guys tonight, and she's having a phenomenal performance to this point. And Wayzata is playing well right now. Marin Day just left it a little short. Good defense by Cam Denon. And here comes the Eden Prairie Eagles back the other way. Tori Schlegel just given a little too much room there, and she buries a 3. And a much-needed bucket for the Eagles there. Tori Schlegel's got 21 points, now tied with Hawkinson for a game high. Bounce it down low for Kelsenberg. Spinning over Hardwick and too strong off the window. Jordan looking to push the pace. Here is Vanessa Jordan turning the corner and going to get a bailout foul. As she had it knocked away by Kelsenberg. We'll see who the foul goes on. No serious foul trouble for Wayzata in that first half, which can be a problem for them at times. That's the first on Katie Kelsenberg. And so the 5 on the floor for Eden Prairie: Ray Ehrman, Ella Hardwick, Tori Schlegel, Vanessa Jordan, and Cam Denon. And then a 5-second call as the Eagles could not inbound the basketball. Credit to Wayzata defensively again. That's the 3rd turnover of this half. Not even 2 minutes into the second. Here is Kieser. So it's Kieser, Hawkinson, Kelsenberg, Marin Day, and Allie Burns on the floor. Kelsenberg, another post touch. Shovels it for Allie Burns, who missed in tight. And an over-the-back call on Kelsenberg. So just a terrible sequence there for the Trojans, as Kelsenberg is going to pick up her 2nd foul. And Allie Burns could not complete the bunny there in tight. Wayzata really needs Kelsenberg to play in this second half after she picks up 2 quick fouls. She brings a great presence inside. She has the height difference over Ella Hardwick. Here is Tori Schlegel trying to put the team on her back, and she threw it away. Able to save it there was Ray Ehrman, but Cam Denon could not. Oh no, they're going to call a timeout. Eden Prairie got the timeout before Cam Denon stepped out of bounds. So what a play there. Tight roping the sideline. So a quick timeout on the floor. We'll keep it here. Opening minutes of the second half. Halftime score was 42-37. 44-40 is your score. Number 5, Wayzata. Number 3, Eden Prairie in the game of the night. Hogan Greenwood alongside Steve Bonsack. Excited and delighted to be with you tonight. Wayzata trying to keep pace with Hopkins. We can't mention it enough. The rivalry between those two schools, and Wayzata already beat Hopkins this year on the road at Hopkins High School. That hasn't happened since 1998, so the Trojans were partying since then. And they have conference wins over Minnetonka. They swept the season series over the Skippers this year. And a big stretch of games as we head down the stretch of the regular season. Vanessa Jordan, quick trigger off the bounce. And the rebound taken to Hawkinson. Annika Kieser getting to the basket, and she gets fouled. Nice take by Annika Kieser, the sophomore. Her and Marin Day have a bright future. They played quite a bit last year as freshmen, getting valuable experience, and they brought it into this season. And Julie Stewart, their fourth-year head coach, is not afraid to play her underclassmen. Annika Kieser gets them both from the line. Back up to a 6-point lead for Wayzata, and they go back to that 2-3 zone. Opening 3 minutes gone by. Eden Prairie starting to settle for some shots on this end of the floor. Tori Schlegel has been their mainstay on offense tonight. Schlegel gets the step, blocked by Hawkinson, coming over secondary defender. Allie Burns got the mismatch. And she's going to get called for the offensive foul. And Julie Stewart with the wry smile on her face did not like that call. Allie Burns will pick up her second personal. Now that's 3 team fouls in this half for the Trojans. And that'll be a turnover for Wayzata. Wayzata only had 5 first half turnovers after they had 4 first half turnovers in the first part of that first half, and now Eden Prairie gives it right back, and they've been sloppy with the basketball here. 4 turnovers to start this second half for the Eagles. Marin Day off the mark on a 3. Save to Kelsenberg, and she's blocked by Schlegel, got it back. Wayzata post feeding down low for Burns, and they're going to get a foul on Vanessa Jordan. So nice big-to-big passing, Kelsenberg to Burns, who will be at the line. Vanessa Jordan will pick it up. That'll be her second personal. Lindsay Harvey returns for the Trojans. Vanessa Jordan will go to the bench for Eden Prairie. Back on the floor is Zawani Zimbe. Z-Will, as they like to call her. And Allie Burns makes good on a pair from the line. Nice curl. Tori Schlegel on the find from Cam Denon. Burns, nice backdoor. Annika Kieser laying it in at the rim. Kieser's got 8 points tonight. Coming into the game, averaging just a shade under 10 on the season for Kieser. Zimbe from the free throw line, too strong. Tapped by Harvey. Zimbe gets to the basketball, throws it up on the rim. Rebound. And it's out of bounds off of Keyser. Kelsenberg, a quick blow on the bench. He's back in. Harvey will take a seat. 13 minutes and change to play in this second half. Number 3 versus number 5. A monumental game here in the Lake Conference tonight from Wayzata High School. Schlegel, the shot clock winding down. Gonna have to create. Schlegel gets it up off the front of the rim. And it's knocked out of bounds off of Ray Ehrman. Wayzata will get the basketball back. Good defensive set there for the Trojans. Wayzata 16-4 on the year. 2 of their 4 losses coming to their crosstown rival Maple Grove. That was a non-conference matchup. They actually played twice this year and lost both meetings. They lost to Prairie Lake in the Granite City Classic as well, and then lost to Eden Prairie. That's their 4 losses on the year. Hardwick nearly shuffled their feet. Found Zimbe, and she missed it. Second chance as Ray Ehrman grabs the board. Marin Day with the block, but a foul. So Ray Ehrman will go to the stripe. And she has been quiet tonight, averaging 18.2 points per game, and has been held to just 2 points so far. Did not play in the first meeting between these two teams due to illness. She actually missed a couple games earlier in the year due to that illness, but Eden Prairie glad to have her back on the floor, and she picks up 2 big points there. Gets the lead back to 6. And here comes the full court pressure from the Eagles. Wayzata handles it well. Hawkinson into the front court. Great passing. Day finds Burns. Got a good look. Missed it. Got her own. Keyser spots up. In and out on the 3. A third chance as Kelsenberg corrals it and puts it in. Love the activity on the glass for the Trojans as Kelsenberg's got 8 points. Hardwick off the glass too strong. And Allie Burns has it. Wayzata by 8. Under 12 minutes to play in the second half. A handoff for Marin Day sneaking inside. And the rebound to Schlegel. Schlegel working on Keyser. Keyser holding her ground. Schlegel forced it up and missed it. Up ahead, Day bouncing it to Kelsenberg. And the right idea from the Trojans, just not the right execution. And we got a timeout on the floor. This one's turning out to be what we expected it to be. An 8-point lead for Wayzata and a good one. A top 5 matchup. 11:37 to go in the second half. We'll step out. More to come here from Wayzata High School.
Hey sports fans, tourney time is here. And your spot for all the MSHSL tournaments is the Neighborhood Sports Network. If you can't be there, NSPN.TV has you covered, starting with state skiing February 11th, 12th, and 13th, followed by state dance on the 14th and 15th. The list goes on, and we'll have them all. Boys and girls hockey and basketball, wrestling, gymnastics, swimming, and more. Catch it all on the official streaming partner for the Minnesota State High School League, NSPN.TV.
So both teams will be left with 3 timeouts remaining with 11:37 to go. Hogan Greenwood alongside Steve Bonsack. 8-point advantage for the Trojans. Looking to improve to 7-1 on this floor on the year. Only 1 loss came to Maple Grove back in the early part of the season. Cam Denon has been quiet for the Eagles after scoring 9 points in the first part of that first half. She had 3 straight triples, and she's been a non-factor since. Here's Denon, extra pass for Ray Ehrman, and Hardwick comes to get it. Shot clock at 12. Hardwick taking Burns off the bounce, in and out off the glass, and Allie Burns has another rebound. A better look there from the Eagles, but they just could not get it to drop. Tori Schlegel's been basically Eden Prairie's entire offense tonight. She's got 23 of the 44 points. Keyser onto the floor, kept it alive for Burns. And over the back on Marin Day. And maybe another ticky-tack foul as Julie Stewart is laughing that one off on her bench. That's the 3rd foul now for Marin Day. 5 team fouls for the Trojans in this half. Schlegel, and a reach-in foul on Hawkinson on the perimeter. And quickly the fouls have started to stack up for the Trojans. Now Eden Prairie will be in the bonus the rest of the way. 10:29 to go, still a ton of time, so free throws are going to become a big part of this game. Just 2 team fouls for Eden Prairie in this half. Marin Day will take a seat. Lindsay Harvey back on the floor. Here is Ella Hardwick. Just 6 points on the night for Ella Hardwick. Schlegel, a step back 3. Buries it. Good looking stroke from Tori Schlegel, and she's got 26. She's just 3 points shy of that 29-point mark that she had against Wayzata in the first meeting this year. And a reach-in foul on Cam Denon, just a little overzealous on the perimeter. That'll be the 3rd team foul, 2nd on Denon. Eden Prairie's got it back to a 5-point game. Hawkinson got open off the inbound, and she puts in a 3. Sophie Hawkinson has got 24 points on the night. Good response for the Trojans. They lead by 8. Schlegel, short. Allie Burns secures it. Up ahead for Keyser. Now it's Hawkinson, surveys. Hawkinson turns the corner. Got blocked. Ray Ehrman affected the shot. Denon might have traveled. Schlegel in and out on a 3. Keyser trying to work hard on the defensive glass, and it's staying here on this end of the floor. Ray Ehrman will trigger in. And another 5-second call. That's the 2nd time this half for Eden Prairie that they've struggled to get the ball inbound. 6 second-half turnovers and 13 on the game for Eden Prairie. And here comes that full-court pressure again. Over the top, it's Burns. And Wisely will slow it up. Hawkinson. Oh, my goodness. Sophie Hawkinson. He's got 27 on the night. And it's an 11-point lead for the Trojans. Ray Ehrman could not answer. Rebound to Denon, who could not put it in. And Hawkinson has it. Hawkinson racing up the floor. Kick it out for Burns. She'll penetrate. Extra pass for Keyser. No shot as Burns hit the deck. They're going to get a foul on Eden Prairie away from the ball. Yeah, that was a deep range 3 from Hawkinson just a moment ago. That was at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 feet behind the three-point line. That could have been NBA range 3, and Hawkinson's got 27 points. Her career high is 34, which is her season high this year that she had against Edina about a few weeks ago. Kelsenberg putting her head down and drawing the whistle on Zembe. And now all of a sudden, the Eagles have 5 team fouls. 3 now on Zembe. In for Hawkinson. Hawkinson's a flamethrower. 30 points for Sophie Hawkinson. And a timeout for Eden Prairie. Goodness. This is a 27-point turnaround after Eden Prairie led by 13. Wayzata leads by 14. (61-47) with 8:03 remaining. 2 timeouts will be left for head coach Ellen Weesey and the Eden Prairie Eagles. Eden Prairie really wanted this game tonight. Not only for the series sweep, but they are 4-3 in conference play, and if they lose this game, they're essentially eliminated from a chance to win the league this year. Wayzata and Eden Prairie not in the same section, so this game doesn't mean a whole lot for the postseason. But Wayzata has come out tonight, and even after a slow start, they've turned things around, really buckled down defensively, and Sophie Hawkinson is on fire tonight. She's a flamethrower. She has 30 points with 8 minutes to play. She had 30 points on the road in the win against the Skippers the other night. And she has been unbelievable this year in her senior year. It's incredible. And she's going to play at North Dakota State next season. And the Bison can't wait to get her on campus. She will get a chance to play with her former teammate Abby Kraswinski, who plays for North Dakota State as well. Here's Tori Schlegel. Nice shovel into the paint, but Ray Ehrman left the layup short. And it's a one and done for the Eagles as Lindsey Harvey has the rebound. Hawkinson picked up her dribble and a foul on Jazzy Hooks, who's into the game. And it's been a story that we've been trying to keep tabs on tonight. Ellen Weesey only playing about 7 players tonight, and it seems like is starting to weigh on these players for the Eagles. Wayzata has a much deeper bench, playing about 9 or 10 players. And that's a credit to Julie Stewart. Not afraid to play her underclassmen, getting those valuable minutes from last season and making major impacts on both ends of the floor. Hawkinson nearly threw it away. Here's Marin Day, who does, looking for Kelsenberg. Ella Hardwick leading the fast break. Denon into the corner, Hooks extra pass. Schlegel is blocked. Schlegel gets it back, slashing in, and she gets fouled. And it looked like Keyser was posted up looking for the offensive foul, but instead, Tori Schlegel will be at the line. Frantic possession there. Second foul on Keyser. Wayzata will make a substitution before the inbound here with 7:17 to go. Glad to have you in tonight. The late conference here on NSPN with Wayzata leading Eden Prairie 61-49 if you're just joining us. Sophie Hawkinson's got 30 points. Wayzata turns it over here. Vanessa Jordan with the theft. And Cam Denon will reset up top with Ella Hardwick. Loop it in for Vanessa Jordan, and she draws the whistle, and Allie Burns is in shock. Third team foul now for Allie Burns. So her and Marin Day both have 3. And Vanessa Jordan will be at the line for 2. Eden Prairie not done fighting yet, trying to get this back to a 10-point game. And Vanessa Jordan does just that. 51-61. It's a 4-0 run, a mini run for Eden Prairie. Hawkinson will get it in to the front court. Hawkinson out of play. And she wanted the whistle, did not get it. Turnover for the Trojans. It'll be their 8th of the night. And the ball's going back to the Eagles. Kick ball from Hawkinson, and boy, Eden Prairie's bench better look out. That was coming in hot. And Sophie Hawkinson is a 2-sport athlete, by the way. She won a state championship in soccer this year, and that looked like a left-footed boot. Eden Prairie, luckily, no one getting hurt on that bench. And good to see the Eagles laughing it off there. Cam Denon will inbound. Nearly another 5-second call. Get it into Jassy Hooks. Still plenty of time on this possession for the Eagles. Ella Hardwick up top. Here's Vanessa Jordan getting the step. Jordan to the basket, and she gets the whistle. And she will head right back to the line. This game is far from over. So Allie Burns will pick up her 4th, and a big one for her, and a decision for Julie Stewart. Lindsay Harvey quickly up off the bench. And she will check into this game. Allie Burns will sit with 8 points on the night. And this is back to single digits now. 9-point game, a chance to make it 8. And Vanessa Jordan does just that. 61-53. Just over 6 minutes to play in regulation. Monica Kieser being hounded there by Jordan. Kieser drives, gets inside and scores. Kieser into double figures now with 10. Jordan couldn't answer on the other end. Kelsenberg out of the corner. Handoff for Hawkinson. Hawkinson got another 3. Sophie Hawkinson is unconscious. 33 points. And it's back up to a 13-point lead. Into the corner, Schlegel, she'll drive baseline. Kick it out and intercepted. Hawkinson all the way in for 2 more. And that is a new season high, career high for Sophie Hawkinson, and a timeout. My goodness, she's got 35 points. Incredible. So Eden Prairie will be left with 1 timeout, 5:17 remaining. And just as you might have thought that Eden Prairie was going to close the gap a little bit, they got it to 8. Quickly back up to 15 on a 7-0 run. Kieser with the bucket, and then 5 quick points from Sophie Hawkinson, who is playing for her grandparents tonight. Wayzata looking to improve to 7-1 in the Lake Conference. Just trying to keep pace with Hopkins. Trying to look up that stat for you. We'll see if we can get it on next time Wayzata plays on this floor. But the last time Wayzata has won the Lake Conference, if anyone can figure out that stat, we would love to know, because Hopkins has really controlled the Lake Conference over, 2 decades. And Wayzata has a really good shot of winning it this year. They play Hopkins one more time on this floor in about a week. Out of the timeout, Cam Denon puts in a 3. And that's her first points since early in the first half. She's up to 12 points now, and that's her 4th triple. Foul on Schlegel as Harvey tried to dribble past her, and that's going to be the 7th team foul, so 1-1 for Lindsay Harvey. Just the 2nd on Tori Schlegel. And Lindsay Harvey banks in the free throw with a smile on her face. One for 2 from the line. Burns kept it alive momentarily, and it's going back to Eden Prairie. 69-56. This Eden Prairie Eagles team, by the way, came into tonight averaging just under 74.5 points per game. And they've been held to 56. That's what Wayzata does to you. Just such a great defensive team. And the imprint that Julie Stewart has put on this program is second to none over her 4 years. A short stint for Julie Stewart, but she has made an instant impact. And another reach-in foul that'll lead to free throws. And this time it's going to be double bonus, as that's the 10th team foul for the Trojans. So Tori Schlegel will be at the line. She's had a phenomenal night tonight as well. 28 points, but not to be outdone by Hawkinson. .29 points for Schlegel tonight, matches the point total that she had against Wayzata in the earlier meeting this year. And she misses on the second. Rebound to the corner, taken by Harvey. And it's going to stay on this end of the floor. Last touch by the Trojans. So good hustle by Cam Denon there for the Eagles. And hold on a moment. Officials are going to get together here. Did Julie Stewart call a timeout, or maybe they're thinking about a jump ball potentially? 4:12 is remaining, by the way, in this second half. 12-point advantage for Wayzata. Both officials conversate about it, and they'll stay with the call on the floor. Eden Prairie basketball. Get it into Vanessa Jordan. Working on Harvey. Picked up her dribble, looking for some help. Handoff for Schlegel. Schlegel will set her feet and knock down a 3. And here comes the full court pressure once again for the Eagles. Tori Schlegel's now got 32 points. Her career high is 36 that she had in a game last season. It's a new season high for her. 32 points for Schlegel. Besting her new high of 30 points. And a reach-in foul as Hawkinson's upset. Might have got hit upstairs. The foul will go on Jazzy Hooks. And Hawkinson will be at the line. Yeah, Hawkinson talking to the official there. She got hit in the face. But it's been her night, and she'll have a chance to add to her career high. .36 points for Sophie Hawkinson, and another free throw coming. Nothing but nylon from the line, and it's back up to a double-digit lead for the Trojans, 71-60. 3.5 to play. The second highest score for Eden Prairie tonight, Cam Denon with 12 points. Schlegel has 32 points, going for another three. Off the front of the rim, good box out from Burns. Kelsenberg working on the high post. Backdoor look for Marin Day, and she gets hammered. And Marin Day will head to the stripe. Has been a quiet night for Marin Day, but she hasn't really been asked to do a whole lot. She's been active on the defensive end, however. And that's the third foul now on Cam Denon. Marin Day, playing in her first meeting against Eden Prairie this year, sat out on the road at Eden Prairie on January 14th. And she is a big-time role player for this Wayzata team. She does start quite often, averaging 9.3 points per game, and she's got 5 tonight. Schlegel got open, and she missed it all. A rare air ball from Tori Schlegel, who, by the way, we mentioned in the first half, committed to South Dakota, going to play for the Coyotes next year, and they can't wait to get her on campus as well. A lot of great talent, not only in the boys level here in Minnesota, but the girls level as well. Talking about Mara Braun for the Trojans, playing at a high level at Division I for the Gophers. Tessa Johnson for STMA, won a state championship a couple years ago. She won a national championship last year with South Carolina. And many others that have come through this state. Two minutes to play. Wayzata by 13. Back cut. Schlegel gets inside and scores. And Eden Prairie will use their final timeout as they get it back to an 11-point game. But to continue that point just a moment ago, talking about all the talent that's come out of the state of Minnesota, at least at the girls level. Molly Mogensen as well from a few years ago from Farmington. Mara Braun, as you mentioned, from Wayzata. Shannon Fornshell, Abby Kraswinski from Wayzata, playing at Drake and North Dakota State, respectively. Jordan Odie, who is leading the #1 team in the state, Maple Grove. She's committed to Michigan State. You got Olson, that's having a major impact at the University of Michigan women's basketball team that played on Benilde St. Margaret's for many years as well. Olivia Olson. Hawkinson picked up her dribble. Back outside for Marin Day. Definitely a lot of contact there on Denon. Did not call it. Here's Burns on the perimeter. Looking for some help. Hawkinson comes to get it. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Wayzata trying to waste as much time as they can. Hawkinson on a crossover. Boy, you expected that one to go down the way she's played tonight, off the front of the rim, and a foul going for the rebound. And who's it going to be on? Foul will be on Kelsenberg. And that's her third foul. Kelsenberg has played with 2 fouls this entire second half, and she's been very disciplined in that matter. But free throws on the other end for Eden Prairie. Vanessa Jordan is back at the line. .136 remaining. Jordan splits a pair, 73-63. Marnday will inbound to Keyser. Hawkinson gets it across the timeline. Keyser keeps it moving. Allie Burns. Schlegel went for the steal. Nice fake by Marnday. Wayzata can run this down to about a minute left. Keyser on a crossover. Here's Hawkinson. Shot clock at 7. And a reach-in foul as Hawkinson will head back to the free throw line. .37 points for Sophie Hawkinson, a new career high. What a moment it was this year for the Hawkinson family as well. Sophie and her younger sister won a state championship at the soccer level back in the fall. Hawkinson makes good on a pair. She's up to 39 points. Final minute to play. Schlegel, deep range 3, short. Offensive rebound for Jazzy Hooks. Kick it out for Denon. Schlegel, a third opportunity. A little too strong off the glass, but she gets the whistle. Sophie Hawkinson and her younger sister Lila Hawkinson winning a state championship in the sport of soccer this year. Wayzata avenging the loss last year in the state title to Edina this year. Schlegel at the line. .7 remaining, with Wayzata leading by 12. Both teams in double bonus, by the way. Fourth foul on Kelsenberg. Schlegel gets the second. Jazzy Hooks will pick it up. That'll be her 5th. So that'll be the night for Jazzy Hooks. And more free throws for Sophie Hawkinson.
Now in for the Eagles. Number 3, Zuralani Simbe.
Hawkinson was a sophomore a couple of years ago, playing with Kraswinski and Fornshell. And that team had an unbelievable chance to make the state tournament for the first time since 2010. They were in overtime against Hopkins, but fell short. And trying to flip the script this year as Hawkinson puts up a 40-piece. And that one drops. Might as well. 41 for Sophie Hawkinson, final 40 seconds. Schlegel. And she's called for the carry. Schlegel really tried to do her best tonight. Had a new season high, 35 points. That'll be 1 point shy of her career high. But Wayzata really getting the job done on the defensive end. This Eden Prairie team averaging 74 0.4 points per game. And they'll fall short of that mark by about 10 points right now, depending on what happens in the final 21 seconds. Annika Kieser will go to the line for the Trojans here. Another all-around player for head coach Julie Stewart, Annika Kieser, with 11 points tonight. One out of two. Kelsenberg kept it alive, and she's got the rebound. And Wayzata can run out this clock. Hawkinson will play keep away. Back outside for Burns. And that'll do it. Trojans win it here at home in our top 5 matchup. 41 points, a career high for Sophie Hawkinson. Remarkable performance tonight as Wayzata wins it by 14. Trojans improve to 17-14. 17-4, excuse me. And they are 7-1 in late conference play, trying to keep pace with the Hopkins Royals, who they have the win against. And they will see the Hopkins Royals in about a week on this floor. Meanwhile, for Eden Prairie, they fall to 17-5, 4-4 in the late conference. Next up for the Eagles is a matchup against the number 8 ranked STMA Knights on Monday. Wayzata will be back in action on Monday as well against the Edina Hornets, and they will look to continue their win streak on this floor. They improved to 7-1 at home, and they have won 7 straight games. And it's a 41-point performance for Sophie Hawkinson. Well, that'll wrap things up here from Wayzata High School. What a night. Shout out to Sophie Hawkinson's grandparents. She played for you guys tonight, and she definitely delivered a new career high for Hawkinson. 78-64 your final score. Trojans win it by 14. For our entire crew, Steve Bonsack and Hogan Greenwood saying good night from Wayzata. The Trojans win it and improve to 7-1 in the late conference.